Hey there, everyone. So it's been a little over a month now since this game has released, so I figured I'd just do kind of a little update video on sort of the state of the game, and frankly, it's still very slow going. We've had so let's see, what have we had in this month? We've had two banners. So we had the starting banner of Maleficent and Aurora, and then we had the limited time banner of Belle and Beast. There is a current banner for Donald Duck and Genie, as you can see up there in the corner. But those are units that are already in the pool. I will say that between these two units, if you're looking to pull, like you're just starting the game and you're wondering which of these two you should pull for, Genie hands down. All right, there is no question about it. Genie, still the number one unit in the game. I maintain that. You can fight me on it all you want. Genie is the best unit in the game. So if you are starting off and you're wondering who to reroll for Genie. I would say in the tutorial you probably want to reroll for a good healer. My recommendation would be Rapunzel, just because she has a lot of she's got a lot of good ailment removals on her heals, so she's a really good healer, and she can remove things like skill lock. She can remove, I believe, paralyze and skill lock if you get her to LB1. So she's a good healer to have, and then you just reroll for Genie using all the free stuff that you get. That's my recommendation. Donald Duck's not a bad unit to have. He's a very good damage dealer, but he's not the best. So Genie support units are going to carry you a lot farther than anything in this game. And I've said that many times. I'm going to continue saying it. So pretty much, we had the battle event, which has ended. We grinded that down. I cleared out the shop. Hopefully you did as well. You got all these nice things. We do have another battle challenge event coming up this week. So if you enjoyed this one, you'll probably enjoy the next one. It's another good chance to get a lot of good resources. Mostly these customization seeds, attack cubes, orbs for raising, for rarity ups. Lots of upgrade pixels, so it's a really good resource for that. And yeah, so we are going to be getting another one of those this week. So this week we've got maintenance. So for me, that happens on Wednesday at noon and ends at 6 p.m. So the time does change depending on where you are in the world, so it does account for your time zone, which is nice. But yeah, so Wednesday we'll be getting our maintenance. We get the update version, we get battle challenge number 2, and we're getting a new gotcha unit. So they did kind of give us this hint. They did reveal on their official Twitter page that this will be Wizard Minnie Mouse. So it's like Minnie Mouse dressed up in a wizard outfit. It's actually a very super cute sprite. I think it's really nice. My hope is that it's another freebie unit like Cinderella. If you picked up Cinderella from the last Battle Challenge event, hopefully you know that she is an extremely strong unit for a free unit. A lot of people kind of poo-pooed her at first because she had such a low attack stat, but she is like one of the top 4 damage dealers in the game right now. So Cinderella is an incredibly broken unit for a free unit, and I'm hoping that Wizard Minnie Mouse will also be a broken free unit. She might be a gotcha unit though, so we don't really know. We'll hopefully get more info as we get closer to maintenance time. But we are getting another battle challenge event, and so if anyone's guess if it's going to look exactly the same as this last one, I assume it will be. My hope is that they have a different boss, because I don't want to just go in and beat up the giant blob again. It was fun the first time, but I do hope that they kind of change it up and put a different boss in there, and maybe try to make it a little bit different this time around. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, it's been a very slow-paced release, and honestly, I'm not too upset about that. I know a lot of people are sort of airing their grievances and saying like, this is like, what is going on? There's not enough content. There's nothing to do in this game. And yeah, I mean, if you're expecting new content every week, which I came from FFBE, which pumped out consistent content, new content every week. And it was nice. I really enjoyed that pace. Like I enjoyed having new content every week, but not everybody likes that. And I'm actually kind of enjoying the sort of slow pace. It's like I come in, I burn my stamina doing some grinding. I typically farm stage 316. They do have a double picks event going on. I should point that out. They've got this, you can do the picks bonus stage and it gives you double picks. My recommendation is it's not worth it, because really the only thing worth buying with picks, let's go to the shop real quick and I'll show you. The only thing really worth buying with picks are the attack and the defense cubes, which you can use to raise your unit's base attack and base defense stats. To some extent, the customization seeds are also nice because you can then craft the really cheap ability seeds. But in my opinion, it's just not worth it to farm that stage, because you can get attack cubes from farming stages like 316. That's on hard mode, by the way. So I typically do 316 because I like to just auto battle. Some people like to do stage 310 because it has 4 waves. And if you want to manually farm it, you can actually just sit and watch for the chests to drop. And the chests, when an enemy drops a chest, I'll show you what it typically drops. It'll show you in here in the stage info. When you see a chest drop from an enemy after you kill it, it'll show you what the enemy drops are. So in this case, it's the ability seeds, or the seed fragments for crafting the seeds, and attack cubes and defense cubes, right? And then, the stage clear are these orb fragments. So those are also, in my opinion, those are much better to farm right now than picks, because you want to be able to farm, and you get the exact same stage clear rewards, same enemy drops. The only difference between 310 and 316, based on data that has been collected by users in the Discord, is that 316 seems to have a slightly higher drop rate for the Justice Orb fragments, which in my opinion are a really high priority farming material. But they also drop attack cubes and defense cubes. So why would you grind picks to try and buy attack cubes and defense cubes when you can just farm this stage and get all of this stuff, right? So in my opinion, that's just the better way to go. And yeah, of course you can just auto battle this stuff. So, I like to use the auto battle here. So I've got enough, I can do 5 auto runs. You can sort of change how it does it. I always do 2 times speed, power saving, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. And let's see, stop timing. If you can turn, so yeah, I don't mess around with any of that stuff. So these are the settings I use, and then I just go in. This is my farming party, because I'm using all of these units to raise their explorer level. So you see they're all at explorer level 4. Each time you raise their explorer level, you get some crystals for that. And so I'm just trying to get everybody up to explorer level 5. And then Cinderella is basically just she's my go-to. She's just mowing, mowing everything down, because she's got the AoE skill. So she basically just mows down the first 2 stages. The last stage is usually one mob standing, and we just kind of finish that one off. I did manage to get her an attack power skill up 20%. That is definitely the best upgrade, ability seed upgrade for your Cinderella. Unfortunately, it only came with a 4% attack boost. You may be thinking, oh, well, that sucks. Just go for something with a 10% attack boost. It's actually better. Despite only having a 4% attack boost, having that 20% attack skill power up is better for her. I did the math, so you don't have to. It is better for her. Okay. I did throw a couple of attack cubes in her, so if she's got 3 attack cubes in her, so that increases her base stats. I think each one is between like 3 and 5 or something like that. So yeah, so she's got, a pretty decent attack line, but the 20% attack skill power up is nice. Not only does that affect her area attack skill, okay, it also affects her EX skill, which does heavy damage to one enemy. So that increases the power to both of those by 20%. That goes for other units too, like Hero Mickey, Maleficent, Judy, all of those units that have like really good damaging skills and then damaging EX skills, that attack power skill 20% increases both of them. So do keep that in mind. I think that's a pretty important thing to do. I have a couple of other teams. Like, this is sort of like my boss team with my Belle, Genie. I don't have Rapunzel, so I'm using Baymax as my healer. Hero Mickey and Cinderella are just there dishing out consistent damage every turn and just rocking it every time. This was, yeah, and basically the same thing as my main. This is my farm team, and then I have a test team. So I've been doing a lot of testing. One of the nice things that the last battle challenge event allowed me to do was allow me to do a lot of testing on the enemies to try and figure out the basic mechanics of the game. You may have seen some of my posts on Reddit. You know, you may have seen my earlier video looking at the damage DPS spreadsheet. So things like that. I've been doing a lot of testing in the game, just trying to figure out the basic mechanics of the game, because we don't really have any data miners out there that have been able to like actually look at the code of the game. There have been data miners like looking at images and things that they're able to pull out of the game, but as far as like hardcore coders and programmers, we haven't actually been able to code out things like the damage formulas. But just due to playtesting and just, you know, using basically reverse engineering the math, I've been able to figure out the damage formula for our units, and I've actually been able to figure out the damage formula for how enemies deal damage to us, which is actually very different from the way we deal damage to the enemies. It's very interesting. So I can post links to those posts and things, and you can always hop in the Discord and check out what I've been doing testing wise. But yeah, really the bulk of what I've been doing since the battle challenge of it ended is just been doing farming. You know, I just log in. Basically, I log in like 2 or 3 times a day and just burn my stamina on 316, getting, you know, all this stuff. And so we'll just go ahead and do that. And yeah, and if we see some chest drops, we'll hopefully see a few here, and that'll indicate that we either get customization seeds or attack and defense cubes. It doesn't happen every time. It's, you know, it's not a guaranteed drop, but yeah. So there we didn't get any of those, so we shouldn't see any of that stuff popping up. Oh, I just skipped it. That's all right. But yeah, you would have seen that there's no customization seeds or attack cubes in that group there. All right, and yeah, we're just farming it up. So this is my recommended stage. If you want to manually farm and you don't want to auto farm, then 310 is the better way to go, so that you can guarantee that you'll at least get some chests to drop. Because what you can do is you can go through the first 3 stages, and if you don't see any chest drops, you can actually just exit out. And yeah, you just exit out of the fight, and you won't lose your stamina that way. So if you leave the fight before it's over, you don't lose your stamina. So that's something important, I think, for folks to understand. Yeah, I haven't seen any chest drops, unless I just missed them. I don't think we had any on the last one. Yeah, you may be wondering why my Maleficent, why I haven't raised her up to 5-star yet, and that's because Cinderella is better than Maleficent at LB0. Honestly, unless your Maleficent is LB3 or higher, and LB max Cinderella beats Maleficent, and that's the way the damage shakes out. So yeah, honestly, Maleficent, until, you know, I just pulled her randomly from some of the tickets some of the free tickets that we've gotten recently, and so she's just stuck at LB0. So until I pull more Maleficents just from random pulls, then yeah, it's there's no use really in me leveling her up. You could say leveling her up for the index score is worth it, and I'll explain the index score in just a minute. If you're not sure what the index score is, so the index score actually adds flat stats to all of your units. It adds flat HP, flat attack, and flat defense to all of your units based on your index level, and you can increase your index level several different ways, and I'll show you, because we just finished this. Hey, I got an attack cube. Nice. All right, and I'll show you real quick. So when you go to your indexes, and you've probably seen this already, so you probably already know. But your indexes are like your character index, so characters that you've pulled, enemy index, that's enemies that you've fought, and then recipe index. Your recipe index doesn't do anything for your index score, but your index score does give you flat stat boosts to HP, attack, and defense. And then, of course, each time you level up your index score, you also get 100 crystals. So it's worth doing that. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to raise everybody's Explorer level, because one of the things that increases that, I think, even though it's not listed here, I think increasing your Explorer level does have an effect on your index level. I could be wrong there. But anyways, the things that definitely increase your index level are listed here. So every time you obtain a new character, you get index points. Every time you level up using pixels, you get points. You can see the distribution there is like every level you increase is 1 point of index. And I think the indexes are like 200 points between each index is what it looks like there. Every rarity up is an increase in index. And every time you limit break a character is an increase in index. And so those are the things that increase your index level. And yeah, so you definitely want to try and increase your index level as much as you can. And yeah, you can see basically it just rotates between HP, attack, and defense. And you know, you can. I'm not even sure where it ends. It probably ends. Oh, those are the ones that we've already done. Looks like it ends at. How close am I? I mean, I doubt we'll ever get here. 150. Wow. So there is an ending. So you can get all the way up to level 150 on your index. It would take a lot to get there. I would be surprised if anyone hits level 150 index anytime soon. But yeah, I would say trying to get to like level index somewhere between level 15 and level 20 is a good place to be. I'm currently at level index level 22. And you know, mainly it's just because I honestly haven't pulled that many. You see, I've still got a lot of units that I haven't pulled yet, mostly 3-star units. So, you know, the more of those I get, the better. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I really wanted to say. And yeah, looking forward to the new battle challenge. We'll see how it goes, and I'll definitely do some clears and show you guys how that goes. So thanks for following me, and I'll see you on the other side.